Hi everyone, my name is Andrea and I'm a naturalist and educator here at Severson Dells Nature Center. Part of my job is learning everything that I can about the animals and plants that live in our forests, prairies, and streams, and then trying to protect them with what I've learned. I'm so glad that you joined us for Night Night Naturalist tonight because we are going to be reading a lovely book called Bone by Bone. We're going to be comparing animal skeletons. This book was written by Sarah Levine and illustrated by T.S. Spookytooth, which I think is such a funny name. Let's begin. All right. Have you ever wondered what we would look like if we didn't have any bones? Ooh, it wouldn't be pretty. Luckily, we don't have that problem. We're vertebrates, animals with bones. Our bones hold us up. Check this out. That would be really weird if we didn't have bones, right? Vertebrates come in different shapes and sizes, but we have many of the same bones. All vertebrates have skulls and ribs, and we all have vertebrae. Vertebrae stack on top of one another to make the spine or backbone. Can you imagine if we added some bones to your spine? What if your vertebrae didn't stop at your rear end? What if they kept going? Well, here's a picture of a human skeleton and what looks like a bear skeleton, and you'll notice some similarities. But what are some things that are different? And here you can see this little boy, and he has a tail because his vertebrae kept going. That's so interesting. Well, of course, you would have a tail. Tails are made of vertebrae. Lots of animals have tails. They wag on happy dogs and sweep side to side to help alligators swim through the water. And what would happen if we took away some bones? What if you didn't have any arm or leg bones? What kind of animal would you be if you had a skull, vertebrae, and ribs? Here's a little boy walking a dog and an alligator, and their tails work differently. And here's what you would look like if you didn't have arm or leg bones. Well, if you didn't have arm or leg bones, you might be a snake. Snakes don't have arm or leg bones because they don't have arms or legs. But you can imagine they would have a skull right here and ribs and vertebrae all the way down. What kind of animal would you be if we took away your leg bones but kept your arm bones? Here's a hint. We'd also move your breathing holes to the front of your face and the top of your skull. So there's the breathing hole, or the nose. You might be a whale or a dolphin. These animals don't have legs. Their arm bones and finger bones are flippers. The holes on top of their skulls are their blowholes. Blowholes let them breathe air easily as they swim. Instead of tilting their heads at the surface to get air when we do when we swim, they just rise and take a breath. Here's a picture of the kid if they were more like a whale and a whale. Do you know how when you swim, sometimes people take a breath to the side? That's what they're talking about. These guys just have the hole right on top of their heads. They have to tilt their head all the time. Here's another question for you. What would happen if your middle fingers and middle toes were so thick that they supported your whole body? What kind of animal would you be if those bones were so strong that you didn't need any other hand or foot bones? That would be so weird. Let's see. You might be a horse or a zebra or a donkey. These animals have only one toe on each leg. Instead of fingernails and toenails, they have hooves. Check that out. That's so amazing that they can support all of their weight on just one toe or finger. Well, what kind of animal would you be if you only had 2 fingers on each hand and 2 toes on each foot? Let's check that out. You might be a goat or a sheep or a moose or a deer or a pig or a cow. Oh my goodness, that's so many options. Since these animals walk on 2 toenails, their hooves are called split hooves. Oh, check this out. They also say that you could also be a camel, a giraffe, or an antelope. Those would all be correct answers. Here's some pictures of animals like that. Now, let's keep all of your bones, but change the size of some of them. What kind of animal would you be if you had a really big vertebrae in your neck? What kind of animal does this remind you of? I bet you can guess. Let's see. If you guessed a giraffe, you'd be right. Both humans and giraffes have 7 vertebrae in their necks, but giraffes' vertebrae are enormous. Each vertebrae can be more than 10 inches or 25 centimeters long. That's about as big as your head. What kind of animal would you be if your leg bones were much, much longer than your arm bones? Do you have any guesses? Think about animals from all around the world. Oh, you might be like a rabbit or a kangaroo. These animals need strong hind leg bones for jumping. Now, what kind of animal would you be if your finger bones grew so long that they reached your feet? Here's this girl standing next to a kangaroo if she had really long legs like it. You might be a bat. Bats' wings are made of finger bones. A web of skin connects the bones to make the wings so that a bat can fly. What if we took away all of your bones? Could you be an animal if you didn't have any bones at all? I wonder. Well, let's find out. Well, yes. Many animals don't have bones. They're called invertebrates. Clams, beetles, starfish have no bones, and they have hard parts on their outside. Here are some pictures of creatures like that. Worms and slugs don't have bones. Their bodies are small and mushy. Jellyfish don't have bones either. In fact, their bodies are so fragile they would collapse if they didn't live in water. But let's add the bones back in one more time. What kind of animal would you be if you could turn this page? Well, you can turn this page, right? What would that make you? A human. The bones in our hands look a lot like the bones that many other animals have, but we can move our thumbs in a special way that allows us to do many things, including turning the pages of a book. Our special thumbs are called opposable thumbs. And opposable things are one of the many things that make us human. Of course, apes and some monkeys have opposable thumbs too. Well, did you get that one? If so, give yourself a thumbs up. Neat. And this book is so cool because there's more information in the back and activities. So you're welcome to come take a peek at it here at Severson sometime. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this Night Night Naturalist. I hope you really enjoyed it and learned something. Have a great night.